Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for attending today's SMB training. And as always, it's a pleasure for me to be doing this bi-weekly training session with you. Okay, so today we'll be touching on the topic of kidneys. All right, it's also another very common topic that I get many queries from many of you about how they can manage their condition, what is it that they can eat. And it is also another organ that I think it's poorly understood. Yeah, we know that it's a serious condition, but we don't really know exactly how it deteriorates, what causes it to have dysfunction, and how does nutrition truly impact kidney, and does our kidney have a chance to reverse if you are already in, for example, stage 3 or stage 4 chronic kidney disease. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how important is this organ. All right, we know, but we don't really know. Okay, so after this session, you will have a much more appreciation for your body, especially towards your kidneys. All right, people talk about the liver a lot, but not about the kidneys so much. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump right into this topic today. Okay, so first and foremost, we need to understand, what does the kidney do for us? All right. Okay, so this is, like you can see, it's a picture of a kidney where unfiltered blood, okay, will come into it. Then right after that, it will does its filtration job, and most of those clean blood will then exit. Okay, it is also very near our urethra, which is connected to our urinary tract. All right. Okay, so this kidney, even though it looks very small, like about your fist size, okay, but inside of it, it has 1 million filtering units called nephrons, okay, which we can see, okay, it's all these nephrons is connected, small ones connected in this kidney to perform its filtration function. All right, so the main job is to filter all toxins and unwanted substances from your blood. So each minute, about 1 liter of blood is filtered. So humans, we are estimated to have 5 liters of blood, right, at each given moment. So in 5 minutes, all of our blood has already passed through our kidneys. This is so crazy, right? Can you believe it? Like 1 minute, okay, 1 liter. But in just 5 minutes, everything rushes through your kidneys. So this is how important our kidneys are, all right? When it stops functioning well in 5 minutes, okay, all its supposed function will then be affected in just a matter of 5 minutes, all right? And this is how much and how critical the blood is flowing through and the role that kidney plays to keep us alive and breathing. So the kidney don't just only filter toxins and waste products, which is a very important function. But the kidneys also help to regulate many essential functions in our body, such as your blood pressure. One of the most important functions of the kidney is to regulate it. So many times when people have high blood pressure, doctors will always be concerned, hey, make sure you take care of your blood pressure, If not, it can affect your kidneys. All right, it's true, okay? Because once the blood pressure is higher, your kidney has to work harder in order to keep up with the pressure of your kidneys. All right, it also produces hormone that is involved in making your red blood cell. Okay, fun fact, okay, bone marrow is not the only place where it produces red blood cell. Actually, our kidney plays a very important function to help our body to produce red blood cell. Okay, so many times when people have a compromised kidney, they also have problems with anemia. And it also plays a very important role to activate vitamin D. Okay, that's essential for bone health. So if we cannot perform this function, then many people who have kidney problems, they eventually will have bone disease as well. Osteoporosis, okay, will also follow through because their body is unable to activate the vitamin D for their bone health. Muscle and nervous system, vitamin B, okay, all these things also requires the regulation of kidney. It plays a very important role in regulating our minerals for muscle contraction and nervous system. All right, so it's a very important organ. Now, this is very crucial to know as well, because many times you don't know, okay, how healthy is your kidney. So it's actually very easy to estimate this. Many times when you go to the GP, okay, if you do a blood test, there's always this indicator that states your eGFR. All right, if you do a blood panel test, it's very easy to do it. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, it's basically this long term, which is estimated glomerular filtration rate. Okay, that measures how well your kidneys are working. Right? So there always be a calculation. So once you look at your blood report, they always tell you, okay, how many per deciliter or something like that. Okay. So if you have 90 and above, it means that 90% of your kidneys are functioning well. All right. So this is where we want to be at. All right. We want to stay in stage 1 as long as possible. So if you're at 90%, you can be assured that your kidney is still in a healthy state. But if you don't take care of it, it can decline. All right, don't forget that. So this is stage 2, where there are mild kidney damage or loss of function. Okay, even in those blood panel tests, they will also indicate, and there will start to be a star that will appear in your blood panel test. And doctors may say, hey, I think you should start taking care of your kidneys. All right, so this is where your kidney will still function, okay? Whatever is needed or required of it, it can still perform, just that it's slower. This is a sign that you better do something about it, because our kidneys cannot go back to stage 1, you know. All right, it's like you cannot, stage 2, you go back to stage 1, you cannot, because you already damaged your nephron. So you can only stop the further from becoming worse. That's the only thing you can do. All right. So once you're in stage 3, this is really something that you have to take note of. Stage 3 is actually considered quite serious already. There are a lot of dietary restrictions that you have to do. Your body cannot expel water. You start to have water retention. A lot of urea will build up in your body. You start to feel nauseous and all these kind of symptoms. All right. So this is where stage 3, this one, you better do something about it, because if not, it will only become worse. And once you're at stage 3, the risk of going to stage 4 and stage 5 is very, very fast. Okay, so stage 4 is usually very critical already. This person has to be on very strict diet. Okay, based on my experience in the dietetic field, I can tell you that managing chronic kidney disease is one of the most difficult diet to follow. All right, followed by uric acid. Okay, these two are the toughest, especially kidneys. The hardest to manage. Once your kidney damaged already, it's very difficult for your body to function normally. All right, so once you're in stage 5, this is where you need treatment. Okay, this is where kidney dialysis will have to come into the picture already, because your kidney can no longer sustain your body's essential function. All right, and I do not know if you have seen people who are in this stage before, but I have personally managed those who are in this stage. They have to restrict even their water intake. Okay, one day, including the water in their food, also they have to take into consideration. So in one whole day, you can only drink 300 ml of water. All right, your dietary restriction control even the drop of water you drink. So this is why when it comes to kidney problems or kidney failure, it is very detrimental. Okay, it's one of those conditions that I can tell you many people will want to avoid. All right, number 1 is cancer, of course. But I can tell you cancer and kidney failure and kidney dialysis, actually they are on par in terms of the cost and how debilitating it is to your body. All right, so I think that's the reason why we are having this talk today. Okay, because we want to prevent ourselves and even those who are around us from being in this stage. Okay, now, so how does sugar damage the kidneys? All right, we spoke about it. And many people have this assumption, but they don't really know how it happens. Okay, so how it happens is like this. This is sugar, okay, whenever we eat anything, okay, that has carbs that becomes sugar will become like this. All right, so once we have all this sugar, it will then interact with protein or fat that's in our body. Okay, so it will then have interaction, it will then have a merger. So once it merges, right, it becomes this distorted molecule in our body. All right, as you can see here, it becomes this very sticky substance. All right, there's a scientific name for it where we call it AGE. Okay, so this is this is a very harmful substance because it can really do a lot of damage to our body. So for example, imagine our body is like a machine. Okay, there's a very smooth movement in our body. So once you pour sugar or this kind of syrup to a machine, right? You can imagine what happens, correct? You will literally destroy everything that is going to work normally in a machine because nobody puts a sticky substance or a syrup. People put oil in it, right? So this is exactly how damaging it is when we have a lot of sugar in our body. So once we have accumulation of these sticky proteins in our body, it will start to change the normal structure of proteins in our body. So our protein, they have a very normal DNA and all that, but it will start to distort it. So once it starts distorting it, you can already imagine and see the effect that it will happen to us. So it creates a stickiness around all the organs and our tissues. So once it surrounds our bloodstream, our blood vessel, it starts to clog our bloodstream. Yes. So once it clogs, then your blood can't go through smoothly and it will cause major damage to the surrounding organ that has this sticky protein. Right? So this is one of the major mechanisms in which sugar can put a lot of damage to even other surrounding organs like your eye and anywhere that has blood vessel. Eye is also another one. All right, that is also very crucial to take good care of it. Okay, so because our body, we have, like we said before, the kidney are filled with many tiny vessels. All right, so over time, these high sugar levels will clog our blood vessel. And just so you know, our blood vessel is very, very thin. As you can see here, blood vessels can be 20 times thinner than a piece of A4 paper. Okay, so this is how easy, okay, for our blood vessel to get clogged. And this, we're talking about very fine, very, very fine blood vessel that is like in our eye, for example, it is as thin as that. So even in our kidney may not be as thin, but can be easily 15 times, okay, because of how fine those blood vessels are. Okay, so this is the reason why sugar management is so important. All right, so once the blood vessels are injured, the kidney cannot clean the blood properly. So this is where a lot of water, salt, and toxin substances will start to build up in your blood. So this is where we can see the differences between a healthy and a diseased kidney, where there's a lot of scar tissue, there's damage, okay, and it just literally shrink, okay, due to the harm that it has gotten over the years, right? So this is what we want to prevent. Okay, so of course, dialysis is one of those things that you really have to pay a very hefty price once you are on it. Okay, I'm pretty sure we have not heard of any very positive news when it comes to people who have dialysis. So of course, treatment is one of those things that people get really nauseous, they become very depressed once they are on it. Not just only on the psychological effect, but also the economical impact that it would inflict on them. So in Malaysia, how much it costs to do one session? So if you are affiliated, if you know an NGO, okay, that's able to sponsor you, then maybe you get the lower range, the lower end, which is 170 per session. Okay, so it can go up to a 240, it can even be more if you're going to high-end hospitals to do it. Okay, so this is the session. All right, and for those who are in dialysis, you have to do 3 times a week. Okay, if you don't do 3 times, it's very dangerous. Okay, anytime you can go on. So they have to do at least 3 times. So per month, the calculation will be 2,000 to 228 per month. Okay, just simply being on dialysis. All right. And in Singapore, it's also about that. It's slightly higher than the Malaysian average rate per session. So per month, you will also range to 2,500 to 4,000 per month just on handling dialysis. Okay, this is just dialysis, we're not even talking about medication and other supplementation that you have to go through. So this is one of the most expensive medical condition that you have to treat, and it goes for life. All right, as long as you are around, you have to do this long term. Okay, so life on dialysis, it is not laughing matter because it severely impacts our day-to-day. Okay, many of the things that we get to enjoy, like walking, okay, living our life, has to change really once you are bound on dialysis. Okay, first of all, of course, 3 times a week, you waste a lot of time. Once you are on dialysis, the session lasts for at least 4 hours. On average, it's 4 to 5 hours. Okay, your whole day, you just sit there, you just wasted a day. All right, and the whole entire experience is very unpleasant. Like I said, people experience vomiting because of the filtration that's happening through a machine. Okay, and of course, this is when you have a lot of side effects. You get very nauseous, fatigue, very dizzy and lightheaded, and many of them feel very weak during and even after performing a dialysis treatment. And because of this, many of them will have to stop work because it's difficult to find a job. You know, working from home is not something that many companies can do. So if you're talking about like cannot be present for 4 to 5 hours, it's very difficult, and you can't really walk, and your health is very much affected if you are on this dialysis. Okay, so lifespan also, you don't live very long. Okay, for those who are on stage 4, stage 5, or no, so stage 5 dialysis, your prognosis is not very long. It's 5 to 10 years. Okay, 10 years is on the optimistic side, but many of them is within 5 years, right? Okay, so what puts you at risk? So the number 1 risk factor is high blood sugar. So high blood sugar can increase your risk up to 30%. All right, once you have high blood sugar, it will, you know, be a very high risk of getting this kidney disease. Number 2 is high blood pressure. Okay, surprise, surprise. All right, we always tend to think that high blood pressure is not as big of a deal compared to high cholesterol, right? But when it comes to kidney disease risk, it's actually pretty high. You know, you have a 26% chance of getting poor kidneys. Obesity and family history are also risk factor. Okay, there is no definitive percentage, but the association is there, right? So we have to take into consideration to really manage our indicators here, right? So the number of people affected in Malaysia can see rapidly increasing compared to this 30 years ago, all right? And now we are somewhere about here, 2023, about here. So we can see that there's close to 60,000 cases that happens a year. So these numbers will project to increase to 100,000 when it comes to 10 or 20 years later. All right, so we do not want to fall into these statistics, all right? And this is not a good projection. Even though medical is advancing and everybody is encouraging to eat healthier, but the numbers are not positive. All right, so I know this sounds pretty gloom and doom, okay, because kidney disease truly is one of those things that once you get it, it's difficult to manage. So we have the solution here to make sure that you don't have to go through whatever I've said just now. All right, just simple practice that can keep your sugar and your insulin level intact, that can reduce your risk, okay, from a 30% to a 0% of getting kidney disease. All right, so we have what you need on hand. All right, which is 2 products of 1 practice that can give you measurable results, and it's very simple to follow. So there are 3 main principles that we have to do. Number 1, we have to lower insulin levels, okay, because we know that high sugar levels is the number 1 risk factor of getting kidney disease. And we have to teach our body to burn fat better, fast more frequently. So all these principles will collectively help to preserve our kidney function. Okay, so the number 1 problem is definitely the food. We cannot deny that, all right? The reason why Malaysia, we rank pretty high in the diabetes statistic is because of the rich amount of food that we have amongst us. Okay, so we typically eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and this is how our insulin level looks like, which is very erratic on any given day, and we snack. Okay, so it's not so innocent. So this is how our insulin level looks like on a daily basis, and this is for those who do not have any insulin problem. Okay, if you are insulin sensitive. So if you have insulin related problem, your chart is not like this. Okay, for somebody who's already insulin resistant, you are off the charts. Your insulin level looks exactly like this. So this is what we call hyperinsulinemia, where a person's insulin level just has no way of coming down. It's always on a very high level. So what is the most important nutrient when it comes to lowering blood sugar levels is fiber. All right, surprise or not surprise, but fiber is the #1 nutrient to lower sugar levels with no side effect, and one of the most established studies when it comes to managing it in the natural way. Okay, fiber can directly reduce or minimize the impact of glucose, and then because of that, it can also lower your insulin level. Okay, so I have also done a research. It says that fiber intake and that actually do a study between fiber intake and those who have chronic kidney disease. So they find that people who are on fiber, they have decreased level of toxin in the blood, okay, because those who have a compromised kidney, their kidney cannot filter the toxin, so it will all be released in the blood. So fiber has that protective function to decrease the level of toxin in the blood. It is able to increase toxin removal that helps our body to naturally, remove toxins from our body as well. It helps to change the microbiome landscape that's in our intestine. And it's also found that the bad bacteria in our intestine actually secretes toxins as well. All right, and they say that all these bad bacteria that is in our intestine can produce toxins that can burden the kidney even more. So they find that having a better fiber intake will help to change the landscape and indirectly through that lighten the burden of the kidney. And all these progressively and collectively help to preserve our kidney function. So this is done on those who have kidney issues. So for those for us who are healthy, if we can do this, it is even better. Means it can also help to preserve our current kidney function from, getting worse. So we need to incorporate more fiber in our diet on a daily basis. Okay, it's so important. So the thing is, we don't only have one fiber, okay, and it's very difficult to just get fiber from our usual food. Okay, we hardly have vegetables if you eat out. So here we have 6 different types of fiber, not just one, but we have extracted 6 different types of soluble fiber that has very good fermentation rate that help to increase the good bacteria in our body. All right, and not just only that, through this mechanism, is able to reduce the impact of sugar and insulin in our body. So this is a person who consumes their normal food without Bittersweet S. So this is how their blood sugar levels look like. So once you have it, you can already see a drastic improvement in your blood glucose levels. So this shows how powerful just a sachet of Bittersweet S can do for your blood levels. Just one sachet. Okay, so if you can take this 2 times a day and you can prolong it for as long as 30 days, you can see significant benefit. All right, so because of this, it is able to lower insulin levels in our body, and it is one of the first step, okay, in managing and helping us to have a good kidney function. All right, it's the leading cause and it's a fundamental goal that we have to establish this 101. All right, so what can we do to better reduce the impact of insulin, okay, to collectively help to manage this in a much more effective level? So here, okay, we have a method that can give you a much more sustained lowering of your insulin levels. So here we have this component known as chlorogenic acids. Okay, so chlorogenic acid is this polyphenol or this nutrition substance that is reported to significantly reduce early fasting glucose and insulin responses in overweight men. So not just only the fiber that's really good in reducing our sugar and insulin, here we also have these other substances in uni mate that can help to synergistically reduce glucose and insulin in our body. All right, and just to let you know that uni mate is not any ordinary product. It's not just any other tea that you can find out there. Well, you can try to find, but they will not give you the same effect, because we are the only company that has perfected the process of extracting and purifying the key compound that give you the most potent and effective yerba mate supplement on the market today. So this is direct slides that I got from the science team. So the very fact that we can say this out loud, it means that we can assure you with confidence that our quality is there. okay? Because this 5-step yerba mate process is exclusively to Unicity, right? So it's not just any product that you get out there. So this chlorogenic acid, okay, not just only it helps in insulin, okay, it also helps to lower the fat cells size in our body, because this is also another reason why our insulin is always very high. So the smaller your fat cells, the lower your insulin would be. Now, how does this work? So our body burn fat, okay, through this thing called the mitochondria. So this is like an energy hub. So our body needs to burn fat in here. All right. So how can this battery here, you see this, utilize fat? Okay, it can't just do it like that. Okay, we need to activate this door known as the CAT1. So without this CAT1, even though you can have a lot of good nutrition out there, but your body is unable to pull the fat in, all right? So it needs to be able to pull the fat in with this door. So the more CAT1 you have in your body, it means that you have greater fat burning. So chlorogenic acid activates this CAT1. It forms more and more of this CAT1 on your mitochondria. And because of that, it is able to increase even greater fat burning in your cells. And as a result, okay, it is known that chlorogenic acid can bring up to a 24% increase in fat burning in your body. So 24% is very high, because normally on normal food, it could give you maybe 5 to 10%. So 24% can really give you a very significant impact in your fat percentage and your visceral fat, right? So chlorogenic acid is able to empower our cells to utilize fat source much better. Okay. Now, short chain fatty acid, okay, now we go back to Bittersweet S, okay, is able to also increase oxygen consumption and enhance thermogenesis and fat oxidation in our body. So as you can see here, with all these principles, we always try to link back Bittersweet S, Unimate, Bittersweet S, Unimate. So you get to see both of its synergistic function, that they cannot really be without each other, and how it adds on to its existing function to give us a much better effect overall. Okay, so it's able to burn fat better. So what is the third and final step? So the third and final step really is being able to fast frequently, which many of us in our daily life find it very difficult to do. So in Unimate, there's this bitter tasten in theobromine. Even though it tastes a little bit bitter, but it serves a function. This bitter taste is exactly what does to our fat cell. It acts on the fat cell and on our sites on the brain that help to reduce appetite. So it helps to manage our appetite. We don't feel like we have to eat every time. We can totally stop the craving of excessive binging or eating. So this Unimate help us to fast without feeling hungry. So back to this thing, which is from the fibers. Okay, the fibers produce this short chain fatty acid that also help to regulate our appetite. It helps to slow down our digestive breakdown, so that we feel full for a lot longer and we have much more energy throughout the day as well. Okay, so once we are able to fast better, you can already see that our insulin has improved significantly. So if we can bring this to a much higher level, we can observe a much greater effect to our body. Once we incorporate a mini fast also, you can start to see something already. This is 4-4-12. So if you can push yourself more, if you think you can do it, you don't have any gastric issues, then the 16-hour fast would bring up an even better and larger effect on your body. So doing this just on diet alone is very difficult. But if we have both of these, Unimate and Bittersweet S, and with the amazing benefits that we spoke about just now, it can really bring your body to the next level. So we highly encourage everybody who have not tried to give this a chance, all right, and to see the effect for yourself. So coming back to these 3 principles, what have we learned? So we have learned that it's so important to lower insulin levels because this is the #1 thing that's going to trigger sugar levels in our blood as well. And it leads to many diseases. So we're going to keep this as low as possible. And secondly, we want to teach our body to be able to burn fat better. That's able to utilize fat cells better so that it can stay low, and indirectly it can make our insulin levels low as well. And we want to teach our body to be more flexible, so we have to fast more frequently. So doing this just on your own is very difficult. So this is where having Basaf and Unimate can not just only make this easy, but bring up a much more bigger health effect on your body. Okay, so once you can adhere to these 3 principles, you are on your way to protecting your kidneys and preserving its function. Okay, so before we end today, I was able to look up for other nutrients that help to, enhance or strengthen our kidney function. So I'm able to find some pretty interesting facts that accompany it. So do you know spirulina, because it has vitamin Bs, and vitamin Bs is actually needed for good kidney function, all right? Because kidney #1 is a very high energy organ, so it requires a lot of energy. So vitamin B supplies all of that nutrients for your kidney to be able to function properly. Okay, so it's very important for it to perform its detox processes. It also helps in formation of your red blood cell. Okay, because as we learned just now, our kidney is actually involved in that process. So having a good vitamin B is not just only for your nervous system, for your muscle, it's also very beneficial for your kidney as well. So I highly recommend everybody, if you're not on this, to also try, okay, to incorporate to have a good kidney function. And next we have native legend tea. Okay, so native legend tea has 7 different herbs. So some of them are like sheep sorrel, burdock root. Okay, all these things, they collectively help to assist our detox function, can help to further flush and nourish our urinary function, okay, because it is together with our kidneys. So if we can get that going smooth, it can help to reduce the burden that it will place on our kidneys. So this is also one of a very nourishing tea that you can drink daily to support your kidney. Okay, last but not least, daily produce, okay, because it has the mixture of many fruits and vegetables with different colors. So the more colors that you can get into your diet, the better, because different colors contribute a different role into protecting your organs. All right, so daily produce is not just only for your kidneys, okay, basically it's everywhere. Okay, it helps to protect your liver, your kidneys, because of its flavonoids, okay, it's anti-inflammatory content. So it's able to really nourish and to protect, to lower inflammation. Okay, so your organs will be able to function well and is in a tip-top state. Okay, so get the minerals that you need through the daily produce 24, which I think is really very important to have. Okay, last but not least, omega-3. All right, surprisingly, I'm able to find some pretty good studies on it that shows how it is linked to a lower kidney disease risk. So not just only it helps for the heart and the brain and the many other parts of our body, but this omega-3 is also able to give us long-term good health in terms of supporting our kidneys. All right, it also helps to lower blood pressure, which is very important if you want to have good kidneys. Okay, so make sure when it comes to protecting your kidneys, you have to lower down your sugar and your blood pressure. All right. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation. I hope you have learned a thing or two about your kidneys and how you can take better care of it. All right, so now we are opening a time for Q&A. So if you have any questions pertaining to how our kidney works, or are there any food that we should avoid, you can feel free to drop into the comments. All right, and yeah, we will get into it. So, all right, give me a minute as I, just get a quick sip, and we will continue this very, very shortly. All right. Okay, so we have a question here. So Mr. Sunatwan has a question. Does wait. All right. Okay, I think you can hear me, right? Okay, yeah. Does chlorophyll help with kidney? Yes, it does, because chlorophyll does have detoxification function. It helps to clear out excess toxins from our body. So whenever we have something that can help to detox, all right, it does help the kidney. All right, it doesn't directly nourish the kidney, but because of its function, being able to detox and to filter out a lot of all this dirt, and as a result, it's able to support your kidney and to reduce the burden of kidney. Okay, and through this mechanism, it's able to link it to kidney health as well. Right, so chlorophyll also have components that help to increase red blood cell in our body. So because of this, it can also play a very good role with the kidney as well. Yeah. So yeah, I think chlorophyll is an all-rounder, not just only to manage your general health, but when it comes to protecting your organs, I think it does a very good supportive function in your kidney and your liver as well. Yeah. Right. Thank you for that question. Okay. So well, looks like everybody is very well informed. Okay. There's another one here. All right. Okay, good. A customer took Unimate first thing in the morning and experienced stomach discomfort and also feels very hungry throughout the day, hence eats a lot. Also affected emotionally, bad-tempered, okay, possibly due to tummy problem. Is this normal? All right. Took in okay, so this Unimate lemon, right, that we have at the moment, okay, what we use is we use Meyer lemon. So Meyer lemon is this lemon that gives a very robust flavor. So for everyone who drinks it, you will know that it gives a very like straight away the lemon taste is not like anything that you have tasted. It's very aromatic, it's very strong. Okay, because of this, right, it tends to have a bit of an acidic quality to it. All right, that its acidity is slightly higher than what you would get from a normal lemon. So for those people who can tolerate it, of course, it's amazing. You know, they really love it. Okay, and of course, it's a very popular flavor. But this Meyer lemon can be a little bit strong on the stomach. Okay, because of the acidity. So this person, I think, very likely he or she may have an underlying gastric issue or just a very sensitive stomach. Okay, so if that's the case, then we ask this person, okay, if this person is already feeling discomfort, then we advise, okay, there are several ways that you can look at it. So if this person can fast, all right, without drinking anything, then we can advise this person to take Unimate together with Bowels Life S. All right, the first thing when you want to break your fast. Okay, if the person can go on in the morning totally without anything. Okay, or you can take this Unimate during your 8-hour fast eating window, means in between after your lunch, for example. You can just take something in between there to just give you the energy that you need. All right, okay. Or this person can take, you try to take Unimate in the morning, you try half a sachet first, okay, to see if it works. Okay, I think I will go with that first lah. So if half a sachet doesn't work for this person, it means that he or she cannot tolerate Unimate lemon anymore. Right? If that's the case, then this person may have to switch to another product already. So I would say that Bioslife E may be maybe an alternative for that. Okay, because Bioslife E, in terms of the calorie count, is actually very similar to Bioslife. Bioslife E is very similar to Unimate in the calorie, in terms of calorie, so it won't break the fast. So that is another alternative as well. But I would think that this person can try half a sachet first, or if not, you can take Bioslife S with Unimate together as you break your fast, and or take it in your eating window and to do some adjustments to see how it can help. So most of the time, any of these three options, he or she will be able to experience improvement in that aspect. Okay, so yeah, I hope that can help. Right, so if the tummy issue is able to be resolved, then I think he or she is able to have a better mood lah. Right. Okay. Or she has some gastric issue. Yeah. If you have gastric issues, then likely, yeah. So ask her to go for half a sachet first. That's what I would recommend. Mm. Okay, so is there any questions? Okay, if not, then I want to thank everybody here for attending. So I hope that you've learned a thing or two about how to look at your blood lipid profile. Okay, make sure you look at very important indicators. Okay, if you have high creatinine, if you have protein in your urine, these are things that you have to look out early. Okay, so if you have these kind of indicators, then time to do something. And I'm sure we all have friends and family around us who also have this struggle, or you know a loved one, okay, who is at that stage, then I think it's a good time that they really start to control their insulin and their blood sugar levels. Okay. So yeah, so this few weeks is a back-to-back session. So you'll be seeing me another time next week. All right. It's going to be next week is also very interesting. We'll be talking about, yes, this poster, okay, blueprint of weight loss, that we will be touching on different body type. Okay, I know there are people who think that it's a gimmick lah. Huh? What do you mean pear shape, apple shape, whatever shape? Okay, they think that this fruit thing and weight loss has no association. But just to let you know, that is okay. And if you are a different shape, your body uses energy differently, and you lose weight also, you need a different strategy one. Okay, so it's not often talked about. So next week I will be talking about this so that you will be able to find even better ways to have weight loss. All right, so thank you everybody for your time today. It's my pleasure, and I hope to see you next Tuesday. All right, okay, so see you. Have a great night. Bye.